how disruptive is this rule going to be to the automotive industry?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll start by saying that my association, my organization, we've described this rule as one of the most consequential auto regulation in decades. And sort of why have we done that? I think there's sort of three primary reasons. One, something that Matt sort of hinted at, but I mean, this is new, this is different. This is requiring companies to build out massive new compliance structures and mechanisms and processes. These companies have these structures in place for safety regulation and for emissions regulation, but they don't have them for this type of thing. So this is a new animal. It's requiring folks to exercise muscles that they've never had to exercise before. So that's hard in and of itself. Second, also Matt hinted at this, this is requiring auto manufacturers to have a level of visibility into their supply chains that they just haven't traditionally had. As Matt hinted, I mean, it's tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4 and tier 5 and onwards. And while auto manufacturers may have had some visibility into sort of tier 1 and tier 2, the tiers below that is not something that they've traditionally had a lot of exposure to. But as Matt said, this requires automakers to get all the way down into the very bottoms of their supply chains, and that's gonna shake things up. And then finally, this is going to require companies to make changes to their supply chains, period. I mean, there's not a ton of Chinese content in these systems now, but there is some. And the rule is not very forgiving. There's no de minimis threshold. It's black or white. It's none, period, right? So it's going to require those companies with even a little bit of Chinese content or involvement to make changes. And the last point I'll make on this is, I'm sure folks on the call know, but automotive supply chains are complex, and there's interconnectedness within vehicle systems and between vehicle systems, and you make one small change one place, and there's sort of a cascading effect throughout, in some cases, the whole vehicle and its entire system. And so changes to automotive supply chains are often, I sort of equate them to like steering a large ocean liner, in the middle of the ocean. It's really hard to do very quickly. This rule does have, as Christian noted, a little bit of time built in, but not very much. These are very aggressive timelines to make the sort of changes within automotive supply chains that folks may have to make.